when there's a big swell running up the coast, 10-11 metres, it's probably advisable to find a protected place, if you can, away from the swell. I found one of those places this afternoon adjacent to a rock wall. Got a sign up here, swimming not advised. That gives you an indication that the swell has been pretty damn big. It's pretty protected here. Out on the horizon I can see sets of swell rolling up the coast. I'm just hoping there's going to be something in here, just in close here, maybe some bream. Anyway, let's get a line in the water. I'm using pilchards and I've got beach worms. So let's just get a bait in there and see what's going on. I'm using 20-pound monofilament line. I've got a trace of about 40 centimetres long with a small swivel. The reason I use a small swivel is because they are much more efficient than a bigger one. Bigger ones, you can get lots of kinks in your line. The smaller ones, if they're working efficiently, will turn a lot easier and get rid of the kinks. Then on there I just have a sliding swivel with a trace to a sinker. So I'm going to start with half a pilchard on a 4-0 hook, half inch around the tail as I normally do. Okay, let's get a line in the water. There's a current running along the beach, of course, going close to these rocks, and then of course it's going straight out past the rocks. So hopefully it's washing a bit of food along here. Well, that's what I'm hoping, and there'll be some fish hanging around in this area. I'll cast back over this way and hopefully the current will take it back to the right. I've got mono filament today, 20 pounds. Hopefully there's not too much kelp around, that there sometimes is when you get these big swells bumping up the coast. But that kelp may not come in for a day or two. Okay, nothing that cast, except a few pickers picking at the bait. They've made a bit of a mess of it. So this time I've walked along the beach a little bit, and I'll just follow the bait along as it's taken in the current. Oh, what's that? Oh, something. That was that ugly looking pilchard that had been half picked away. It's heading over towards the rock. But I don't think it's going to go right in there. There we go, the target species, I think.
Hit the subscribe button to get notified of all my latest videos.
There we go, he'll be possibly Luke. Yeah, 25's legal and that is 25 and a half, but yeah, for me it's a little small. They can go back. When those waves go right back like that, that's always an indication there's some bigger stuff coming. That wave has surged right up the beach. Now it'll draw right back again. Alright, another half pilchard out. Let's take advantage of this wave going back. Cast a little further and then quickly move back before the surge gets me. See the waves breaking way out there on a reef. Well, I had a bite but didn't take it. Maybe didn't like it. Made a mess of the bait though. Well, let's try a head this time. Head of a pilchard. Okay, let's get that out. A bit of cloud coming over at the moment. Oh, here we go. What's this? Hook it. Not sure if it's on there, it's swimming in because I can't feel the weight, or the waves are pushing it in. There's another small bream. Here we go. A little bit bigger this one. Taking that half pilchard. Seagull's going to have the rest. Not much bigger. Let's put him on the rule. Yeah, half a centimetre bigger. 26 and a bit. Get him back out in the water. Go the other way, mate.
To ensure you don't miss a single video, hit that subscribe button now.
Alright, let's try another half pilchard, tail section. There's a little bit of deeper water in close here. I might just try and plonk it in there, not too far out. See if there's anything in there. It's out there. Hopefully the waves won't wash it in on the sand. Well, that was in close. Got picked off, so I didn't feel anything. I'll just go a little bit further out this time. And that should wash back into that deeper water. It's about half tide in at the moment. Here it's fairly protected, it's facing east. You've got a headland out there, you've got a break wall in close here, helping to break that swell. Another half pilchard tail section. Let's get out. The moon has risen just a little while ago, so I like moonrise. It usually enhances the fishing a little bit. Oh, that one was cast well out. Oh, here we go. Didn't take long. Oh, did I lose him? Oh, I think I lost it. Oh, maybe it was a tailor. Bit my hook off. Oh, there you go. Well, after being bitten off by what I think was a tailor, I've got another half pilchard on, single hook. Will I go through the same fate again? Oh, here's one of those surgy waves I'm talking about. There's nothing and then bang, it hits you. This is where rock fishing can be a bit of a hazard. When these surges come through like that, there you can get really caught off guard. I think it's time I tried a beach worm. I'll get my other rod out. Alright, so these are worms I've had in the freezer, methode worms. I wasn't sure that I'd be able to catch some today with the big swell, but probably I could. The beach is flattened out, so I would have had a bit of a chance. So I'll cast this not too far out. And we'll just see if they go the worms. Oh, there's a bite, I think. Create a small one, like little jackhammers. probably dart. Feel more like a dart than a whiting. So I've got braided line here so I can feel them just tapping it. I reckon they might have had my bait by now. Not all of it, but certainly taken some of it. Just load her up again. Cast out a bit wider and then I can just bring it in closer. Just wind in slowly with the swell. So I'm just using quite a heavy spoon sinker. The current's not too bad actually. Despite the swell being huge out there, I thought it would be a lot more surgy than it is. It's actually not too powerful. It is moving down to the right. Oh, that's a See, they're not over enthusiastic about taking it though. I think that must be dart, possibly small dart. Okay, I have a worm out in the other rod and a pilchard on this one. Half pilchard. Haven't used a half pilchard for a good half hour or so. It was out about half a minute and got demolished. Alright, see if I can hook whatever it was that quickly took my bait last time. Oh, that's a good bite. Not coming back, might have taken my bait. Found a bit of a mess of my bait. Well, it's been a little quiet for the last half hour to an hour. The moon's got up a bit higher, well past moonrise now, and the fish have decided that they don't want to bite. The water's still surgy, little waves will be breaking, it'll be way down there. Next thing it's right up here, like for a minute or two, and then it's way back down there. Well, I'll cast the worm out again. The sun's getting quite low now. Got a pilchard on the other rod. I'll just, the tide's not far off high, probably an hour from the top of the tide. So there may, you know, what's best? High tide or moon rise? They're a little way apart. A couple of hours apart, 2 or 3 hours. As that wave pushes back, you'd think the fish would be right along the edge there. Snip. Sucking up anything that washes back. So there's my worm, pretty much untouched. So they're either not there or not interested. Just had a good bite. But again, not hooked it. The sun's getting very low. Just had a bite which felt like either a dart or a whiting, probably more likely a dart. Being fairly close. But yeah, it's fairly quiet since about an hour after moonrise. Alright, that sun is just about setting. So let's see how we compare a high tide on sunset compared to moonrise a few hours earlier. Which is better? I know what my preference is. So what is my preference? Moonrise or high tide at dusk? I know a lot of people will prefer the high tide and fish then, but my preference is definitely the moon rise. I'll probably caught more fish then. I know a lot of people would say go high tide at dusk. It's a great time to fish. And yes, on certain days it can be, but not always. So my preference is moonrise, especially about 4 or 5 days prior to the full moon. I thought I was getting a bite then. It's on the worm I'm speaking of. Swell seems to be dropping off fairly quickly, so in the morning I might go to one of the more exposed places as that swell dissipates and see if I can get some bream, or even there's sometimes blackfish and drummer hang around those places, so we'll give that a go in the morning. Is this a fish? Wouldn't be before time. High tide's actually come and gone half an hour ago. Yes, there we go. It's a bream, a high tide bream. Much bigger than the other ones earlier, but it's really the first bite I've had for a damn long time. Very nice. Well, I haven't had much success with the worms this afternoon. It's the way it goes sometimes, I suppose. I've felt a few bites on them, but I don't think I've hooked a fish. Feels like there's something on there. Could be hunk of weed or ray. I think it's a throwback. Definitely a throwback, I would say. Not sure what it, I hate these things. This is a blind shark. Yeah, I messed up. Anyway, that'll do me for the day.
Don't miss the next video where I fish on the exposed ocean with the big swell. And you'll be surprised what I pick up. If you haven't already done so, like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.